your host, Vince. And now, we're on the air.
Hi everybody, how you doing? All the VI people, party people. I'm Vince, this is the VI podcast as usual. And yeah, it's been a while. It's been over a week that I've done a show, but I'm sort of trying to make up for it because I got actually quite a lot of stuff lining up for you guys. So we're kicking off here with the Paleface interview. And Paleface, of course, Kari Miettinen. He is one of the top artists in Finland at the moment, not only in hip hop, but like in general. He won the best male Emma, I think it was last year, and you know, he's just all over the place doing all kind of fantastic stuff, and I'm really proud of him, and I'm really happy that I got a chance to talk with him while he was doing a show here in Tampere Saturday, I think, yeah, on Saturday. And anyone who knows Paleface and what he's about knows he's highly opinionated, and he's got a lot of thoughts he likes to share, and he likes to challenge people and sort of expand all of our minds. So it wasn't really even an interview so much, more was just here's a mic and I let the guy talk. Which is, those are always the best interviews. Just whatever sort of he wants to talk about, we just went there, and that was really fun. And yeah, we have a bit of a history. We come from the same town, same school. Our sisters were in same class, and I have fond memories of him sort of before he went on and did all this amazing stuff he's done now. And yeah, even sort of hanging out with Mikko Myllyniemi in Helsinki, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and those were some really good times. I remember one time we were hanging out in Helsinki, and there was some good party we were doing in the center, and well, I passed out. It was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and I passed out, like, just, you know, as it might happen once in a while. We've all been there, and then I woke up the next day, and Paleface had marked with a magic marker my whole left arm and shoulder and all of it, like tattooed me up, and woke up. I had no idea what, like, is this gonna come off, or is this real? And like freaked out a little bit, but yeah, at the end of the day I had a show the next day, and I kept it, and fun times. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna see you guys after the interview and talk a little bit of what's gonna happen next. But now let's go back in time, back to YO-talo, and here's Paleface. Alright, I'm here at YO-talo, Tampere, and I'm talking with Paleface, Kari Miettinen himself. Welcome to the VIPodcast.
Thanks, Vince. What up, cuz?
Nothing much. I was actually wondering and thinking to myself, I'm also interviewing the keyboard player from Turisa, so it's sort of like Hämeenlinna week for me this time. So you've been back home there lately?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're looking forward to playing some gigs also in Hämeenlinna, but me and Vince, we go way back, as they say. What, 20 years, something like that?
Well, almost, yeah. Like, our sisters were in the same class and stuff like that, and we were horsing around in the same music room.
Yeah, in the golden 80s.
Yeah, in Hyk. I think, is that place even around anymore? I heard they closed it or something like that.
So I thought they closed down the junior high part of Hyk, but the high school should be still running. But it's a small, lovely town, you know, and
you couldn't wait to get out.
You got it.
and now you live in Helsinki. You've been there for what, another good 10 years at least?
Something like that. So, but I mean, Hämeenlinna still holds something that kind of feels feels like home, the original stomping grounds, Everything seems a bit more small scale than I remembered, but Helsinki is the place to be if you want to really put in work in this business, I think. But it doesn't really matter these days, of course, with the internet and so forth. And hopefully, at some point, I got a small daughter, 1.5-year daughter. So hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to move outside the big city and enjoy the nietzsche, as they say.
All right, yeah, you want to get your own red cottage and all the good, and a dog and a fence and all that stuff.
I don't know about the dog or the fence, but definitely the idea of living in a smaller community and maybe producing a small percentage of your own food, that's a kind of ideal and a kind of respectable goal to aim at, I think.
Yeah, definitely. If you can find that place that okay, I'm sort of secured in. You've done enough. You've seen the world. Now you can stay put, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so it seems like you're in a pretty good place at the moment in your life.
I really feel so. Reaching certain kind of stability after years in this hectic business, And
Speaking of hectic, I don't know, maybe the listeners can hear we got a sound check going on, so I'm gonna get some bonus material at the same time.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, it's a strange trip, this life of ours, looking back, there's certain times that, this whole world has, kind of seemed so different and so forth. But certain things, friends and family and certain things in your life, they're like a constant. They never change, and the rest of it, you can't really be certain of anything. So I've had a really kind of how should I put it, eventful life, So I'm really glad that I'm here now, speaking with you here in Tampere and getting ready to play a gig. But I think something that we should be reminded of doing is to kind of live in this moment instead of looking back too much or trying to kind of create a future for ourselves too much or make too many plans for tomorrow, because that's the only thing that matters really, what we're doing now and the next moment. So
yeah, so tomorrow is tomorrow's problem, really.
In a way, I'm heading to Turku tomorrow to speak at a conference for some kids over there, and I also try and, as you know, kind of be a part of social commentary, the kind of the public discussion in the media even about certain topics. And I think this is a really interesting time we're living in, where kind of we're forced to make radical moves and kind of set a new course completely, try and reach and find a totally new paradigm for the entire human race, instead of or before it's too late, and I really feel that this is a time where people are reaching, more and more people are reaching this new level of consciousness as a global kind of universal consciousness, instead of a kind of an egocentric idea. We should be able to switch into something more communal, in a sense, like I don't know, communal is not the right word, but something that removes us from the ego, me-centric idea into us, into this new paradigm of understanding that the human race is maybe actually entirely intact one organism, and this planet that we live in, instead of this, I think, 20th century idea of the human individual and individualism in that sense. I think this should change, and we're living in strange times, and I think this manifests in all the news and all of these big events that are going on in the world right now, that everybody stops to think what are the individual possibilities of changing this or having influence over these mechanisms that are surrounding us, the Arab Spring and the Occupy Wall Street movement and even Greece, which is now pondering whether or not they should be part of the euro, and the whole kind of a EU idea is in crisis right now. So we're looking at making really, really big moves now. Interesting, lovely times. I really enjoy this electricity in the air now.
Well, would you have thought, like, let's say 15 years ago, when you were young, loudmouth, well, you're still sort of a loudmouth, but would you have thought that you're going to take this kind of a role when you were just like, hey, I'm just, just having some fun and just trying to find out what I want to do, and now you're like I don't know what the word would be, but you're sort of affecting things and in the discussion and sort of stirring it up. So did you have any idea this is what's going to happen?
Of course not. When we started hip hop music all together, it was like a really small group of actives. It was like a secret society almost. We wanted to cultivate this music and this underground style that only a few knew about from the States, and we would, of course, copy the vinyl, on cassette and send it over the mail, in the times before the digital music and whatnot. And
I actually believe the C cassette is coming back. I'm a firm believer in it.
Yeah, it's funny, I speak to kids quite often nowadays in different through different organizations or whatnot, and many times I have to explain to 20-year-olds nowadays that what a C cassette actually is, that you have to turn it around, that it actually has an A and a B side. But then again, when the CD came out in the 80s, I thought that the CDs had a B side also. So when I got the first CDs, I put them in a CD player, and then after the music was done, I flipped it around, and I was wondering how come this doesn't play, this B side of it. But I mean, just like you said, we had no idea that this could be even a profession or any kind of any interest to the like the mainstream audience, or that through hip hop music or what we were doing, that we could reach any kind of bigger audience. So I'm really glad and kind of flabbergasted also about what has happened through the years here. But of course I'm glad that I could be a kind of maybe an authority figure to younger ones, and maybe somebody that even the media and even the people and the all around society are wanting to hear my thoughts and so forth, and reading my poetry. And I mean, I couldn't be happier through that. And to me, most of the most influential people that have had an impact on my music and art have been people like John Lennon and Bob Dylan and Gil Scott-Heron and Chuck D from Public Enemy, and a lot of these very aware, socially conscious people. So I really feel great that and I'm also glad that we're able to discuss now what the possibilities or the role of music and art itself is in this society, in a way that I think a lot of people have been kind of gotten stuck in this idea of rock and roll music or its derivatives having to be only kind of ways of entertainment. To me, one of my great idols is KRS-One, of course, a legendary old school MC who came up with this idea of edutainment, combining education and entertainment. So that's what I try to pull off. So my gigs are always like hopefully very entertaining, nice, and a lovely atmosphere. Something that everybody feels that they enjoy being around, and cracking jokes and whatnot, even though the subject matter and the topics behind might be quite macabre or dark or even political and very serious in that sense. But of course music, as you know, is the number one point of making music, is for people to enjoy it and to kind of get positive ideas out of it. But to me, it's been always very important to kind of put some kind of even small seeds of thought in there that maybe somebody hears and picks up and goes to the internet and Googles Erik von Däniken or Krishnamurti and finds out who the fuck these people are that I mention in my tunes. So, but I'm very glad to be in this situation now.
Yeah, so you really you like substance and you like references and stuff. Is there a possibility in the future, or have you maybe done just like sort of, for lack of a better word, like pointless music that is just like this has no agenda and this is just like I just made a dumb song and just here you go.
Of course, yeah, that's always a part of the process, and it's that's also a part of the therapeutic value of music, I think. Because we not only make the music for our fans and audience, we also make it for ourselves in a way, and to kind of as an endless psychotherapeutic session, if you could say, kind of peeling off the layers of the human mind and the human experience. So of course that's an integral part of hip hop music. Also the word play and the kind of no holds barred having fun aspect of it. So certainly if all music were to be fists raised and very politically aware and so forth, we maybe it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, you definitely need also like like if you look at the Finnish hip hop scene, there's so many different kinds. Like we sort of have the more blingish guys and sort of we have like the humor guys in Petri Nygård and stuff like, and you sort of need all of that stuff to make the whole field or sort of this medium to be, so everybody has something and you can sort of like a buffet, you can sort of pick and choose.
Exactly, and it's all part of the hip-hop music, this kind of broad variety of styles. I wrote this book called Rappiotaidetta, which introduces 30 Finnish MCs. And this is, hip-hop started out in Finland in the first experimentation in like 1983 with Kojo and Billy the Kid and General Nyassa with I'm Young, So Beautiful and Also Natural and stuff like that. So we have a history of actually almost 30 years of underground Finnish hip-hop. So I think for any country, not to mention a country the size of Finland, to be able to pick 30 interesting, very individual, different kinds of MCs who kind of all make their own interpretation of hip-hop music and bring a very very strong new aspect of it. I think this is a very wonderful situation, and like you said, all the active hip-hop Finnish MCs are part of this, So if you would take one of them out, it wouldn't be the same kind of scene. And to me, I have endless respect for everybody in this business. Everybody, the mixing engineers, the guitar and the backline techs, the musicians, the rappers, the producers, everybody who are active and actually making moves and doing something. Because this world is, not only Finland, but the whole world is filled with assholes who just sit around at home, never do anything. They never written one line. They never written hit one chord. Never written one song, and all they do is kind of spread this negative, critical, so to speak, criticisms around and so forth. So we call these guys internet MCs. So fuck y'all. You never did nothing. I'd rather vouch for Cheek than y'all motherfuckers.
I've also heard a term like in sports, it's the couch coach, sort of, who's coaching off his own, with the Doritos or whatever, stuffing his face and just saying, nah, you should have done that,
The backseat drivers.
Exactly. Hey, on another note, I talked with you last time I saw you that you've given up drinking, you've given up the nasty ways, you're a dad now. But my question is that now that you're no longer on a beer bash, what is your favorite like drink at the moment? What are you a Pepsi guy? Do you go for water or Maitopoiko? What's the deal?
I like to drink milk and coffee. At home, I drink quite a bit of tea. Rest of the time, usually my soundcheck drink and my bar drink is ginger ale. There's a Jamaican bush doctor called Bobby Culture living in Helsinki. He makes this herbal remedy called the roots juice, rootikal. So I like to drink the roots juice to bring the mental stamina also. And
Where can you get that?
through Bobby, he bottles it up with all kinds of really strange Jamaican colloquial herbs and so forth. That's a very big part of the liquid diet. What else? Also kuusenkerkka. I don't know the English equivalent of kuusenkerkka, but it's the pine tree.
I have no idea what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just.
If you can see through this radio show his hand movement, you'll get it.
It's the small part of the pine tree flower or something, and that's a traditional Finnish drink also. But I think the rest of the time I drink water. Yeah.
And my final question, because you did promise this a long time ago, so when is the Hoax album coming out?
We will work on that. I just talked to Tuomas not so long ago. What we actually did with my band and Tuomas joined along is, which is kind of a surprise for maybe a lot of my fans, is that we played an entire set of Beatles tunes at Tampere Beatles happening, and that's the last time I got a chance to play with Tuomas 88 Keys from Hoax. And we have unreleased material that's still, I think, halfway mixed or even readily mixed. And I think it would be great to get together. You know, we recorded our first shit in 1997. And actually my mixing engineer, Peve, who I've been working with closely for the past 10 years, he mixed some of those early Hoax crews. So in fact, Peve has mixed my music for 15 years already, so hopefully in the next 15 years we'll be able to get back to that.
At least one person is still waiting, and I bind you to your word. Hey, thanks a lot, man. All right, Daddy Paleface, Kari Miettinen, thank you very, very much. And yeah, really amazing to get to do this interview and this sit down with you, because I know you're a busy man. You got a lot to do and a lot to say, and well, we wouldn't have it any other way. Well, moving on, people being busy. I'm busy. I was busy doing some VIPodcast interviews, for the future. I got a chance, as I said earlier, I had a chance to talk with the keyboard player from Turisas, Babe, and we had a really, really good chat with him. Went up to his hotel room, same hotel where I did the Graham Bonnet interview actually, and yeah, it seems that hotel, brings the best out in people, because they just want to talk long and hard, and yeah, I got a good 40 minutes out of him, talking about Turisa stuff and Dingo stuff. Well, all kind of being a foreigner, but still sort of being Finnish, but sort of being the guy who is on the inside looking in as an outsider, if you catch my drift. So I'll be putting that out next week, a little bit later, and also I'm gonna do a little bit of a coverage of the Ruby and Fellas Under the Bridge competition, because hey, Acoustic Hobbits, we advanced, we're in the finals, we're in the top 5, and well, it's not time for celebration just yet, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a coverage of that for Friday. The finals are on Friday in Ruby and Fellas around 10 o'clock, I would say. So hey, come on down and let's have a good time, and let's get those hobbits to Isengard, to the Holy Grail, and all that good stuff. Hey, while I'm plugging, let's do this. Also, Acoustic Hobbits, you can come and check us out next Tuesday. So that's the 22nd. We'll be in Henry's Pub. You know the place, you know the cellar, you know all the good stuff. So we'll be there late, Henry's time. And then Friday, before the contest, I'm going to be doing a little something for the Jack the Rooster 3-year birthday. I don't want to give too much away because it's sort of a surprise, so shh, don't tell anybody. And then on Saturday, on the 26th, I'm in Nokia, but for the love of me, I don't remember the name of the place I'm going to. I'll tell you later. I'll be, doing this anyway a little bit later. So, hey, upcoming shows, talking with Turisa's keyboard player, and then I'm gonna do a little report for you from Ruby and Fellas, and probably they've been around 3 years. I think we're gonna try and get a little interview from Jack the Rooster, and talk to the people behind the scenes. And well, other than that, I don't know, but all this is happening right now. Last week was sort of a week off, but now I'm right back in the game. So hey, in the meantime, like this video, leave a comment, go listen to some other interviews. They're great. If you haven't done it yet, do it. Share them with your friends, and let's just get the word out on these really good conversations I've been having with these people. Anyway, that's about it. I'm Vince. I'm out.